Deep inside the Penn Museum in Philadelphia, hidden in a climate-controlled storage basement beneath the public galleries, sits a small clay tablet known as CBS 8534. It was recovered from the ancient city of Nippur during excavations between 1888 and 1900 and entered the University of Pennsylvania's Babylonian collection in 1899. Today, almost nobody knows it exists. The official catalog describes it with a short label: Creation Fragment, Old Babylonian Copy, Partial. But the text carved into the tablet is anything but ordinary. CBS 8534 belongs to a group of ancient Mesopotamian creation stories also seen in texts like the Atrahasis Epic and Enki and Ninmah. Across these stories, the structure is similar. The gods grow tired of labor and decide to create humanity as a workforce. They gather clay from the earth and mix it with the blood or essence of a sacrificed divine being. CBS 8534 follows this same pattern at first. The tablet describes the council of the gods, the gathering of clay, and the killing of a god whose substance will be used to create humans. But then the wording changes. Before the divine material is mixed with the clay, something is removed from it. The text uses the Sumerian term gish-shu, often translated as cut thread or severed strand. According to the inscription, one of these threads was set aside before humanity was formed. Because of that removal, humans were created with fewer threads than the gods. The numbers written on the tablet are direct. The gods possessed 48 threads. Humans possessed 46. Modern humans have 46 chromosomes. Chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans, our closest genetic relatives, possess 48. That 2-chromosome difference is one of the best documented facts in modern genetics, and according to modern science, it already has an explanation. In 2005, the Human Genome Project confirmed that human chromosome 2 is the result of an ancient fusion event. 2 separate chromosomes, still found independently in other great apes, fused together somewhere in early human ancestry. The evidence is physical. Scientists discovered vestigial telomeres, protective DNA caps normally found only at chromosome ends, sitting in the middle of human chromosome 2. That should not happen naturally unless 2 chromosome ends were joined together. Mainstream evolutionary biology explains this as a random fusion event that eventually spread through the human population. But CBS 8534 describes the change differently. The tablet does not describe an accident. It describes a deliberate act. The figure responsible is Enki, the Sumerian god associated with wisdom, engineering, invention, and technical knowledge. Across Sumerian mythology, Enki is repeatedly described as the being who builds, modifies, and understands how creation works beneath the surface. And CBS 8534 specifically credits him with performing the edit. That becomes even stranger when placed beside another Sumerian text, Enki and Ninmah. In that story, Enki and the goddess Ninmah create different types of humans from clay. Some are blind, some cannot bend their limbs, some are infertile. The text presents Enki as demonstrating technical control over human design itself. Read alone, it sounds symbolic. Read beside CBS 8534, it sounds disturbingly specific. The conventional explanation is still that all of this is coincidence, ancient metaphor being reinterpreted through the lens of modern genetics. And maybe it is. But the similarities do not stop there. The Atrahasis Epic describes the sacrificed god used to create humanity as carrying not just intelligence, but possibly what some translators call a design pattern, or structural blueprint. Egyptian traditions describe the god Khnum shaping humans from clay while dividing inherited essence among them. Certain Hindu texts describe primordial beings being divided into mathematically specific portions to create later life. 3 ancient civilizations preserved creation stories involving the division and transfer of an inheritable structural component. Individually, each example can be dismissed. Together, the pattern becomes harder to ignore. Modern genetics complicated things even further when researchers like Svante Pääbo proved that humans carry DNA from extinct hominin species such as Neanderthals and Denisovans. Humans are, in a literal sense, a hybrid species, and ancient Sumerian creation stories described humanity exactly that way, formed from 2 separate origins combined into one. Then there is the issue of access. CBS 8534 has reportedly remained under restricted handling conditions at the Penn Museum since 2009. Officially, the reason involves conservation concerns. That alone is not suspicious. Ancient tablets are fragile. But several details stand out. Research requests were denied. The tablet disappeared from the museum's searchable public database after a catalog update, and portions of Edward Cheera's original translation notes discussing CBS 8534 remain unavailable under ongoing conservation review. None of this proves conspiracy. Museums constantly deal with conservation delays and limited funding. But the timing remains difficult to ignore, especially because the restrictions reportedly intensified shortly after researcher Marco Conti argued that the tablet should be re-examined in light of modern genetic discoveries. And this is where the real question begins, because human chromosome 2 fusion is established science. But CBS 8534 does not simply describe fusion, it describes removal.